Hello everyone, it's Mary Morning here. I know you haven't seen me in a while. I haven't done an update in a long time. So I thought I would do that for the new year and let you know what I am up to. And kind of my witchy goals for the new year. So one of the first things that's going on is I have started contributing to a new collaborative channel with Mandy C that Mandy C created called the Witchy Book Reviews. There are some fantastic ladies on there. I will put the link down below for you to go and check it out. So I'm just one of the many people doing book reviews on there, but there are some other great book reviews to watch as well as mine. And of course, anything Mandy C does is usually pretty great. So I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, what else she's going to come up with, kind of thing. The next thing, so that means I need to read a lot of books. And I read a lot anyways, but I think what I'm going to do is stick to, there are certain things that I need to read right now, so I'm going to just go through those lists of what I need to read, and I will probably do the reviews on those. So don't be surprised if they're kind of odd choices maybe. So yeah, lots of new book reviews coming from me, but over on that channel. Not on my own channel. And what else am I up to? Well, my Embolic Arts group. We are working on going into the second phase of the tarot. So we're basically working our way through the major arcana, going through the occult hidden meaning in tarot. It's not so much about divination as it is about the meaning behind the imagery and the deeper occult symbols and that sort of thing. So I think we're starting on our second set next week, which is exciting. And looking forward to the year's worth of new rituals. So the Sabbaths, so the next one would be Embolic, I guess. And I'm looking forward to that. And we were talking about maybe going into some different areas, like maybe doing some goddess meditations as well. Nothing's decided yet, so we don't know what we're doing quite yet, but that would be amazing if we could start getting into that. Let's see, what else am I doing right now? I'm in a Wicca study group, so I have a list of books to read for that, which is long, which is probably what's going to end up in the Witchy Book Review channel. Just read Witchcraft Today again, which there should be a review coming up really soon on that, on the other channel. And let's see, I read Gerald Gardner's Book of Shadows again. Picked up a new copy of that. So there's that. Which is pretty good. Like, it really goes into the, you know, it basically is all written out, you know, rituals for every Sabbath and that sort of thing. I don't know if this is completely accurate, whatever, I have no idea. I'm not initiated into Wicca in any way, so I don't know. But it's really an interesting Book of Shadows to look through, and we'll probably incorporate some of that stuff in what we do in the Embolic Arts group. And let's see. What else? I've been going to Toronto recently to listen to some of the speeches done by a group that teaches Thelema. There's an OTO in Toronto, and one of the members, I don't know if he's part of the OTO or not, but he teaches the Lima. His name's Edward Mason, and he's doing speeches in Toronto that you can go and listen to. And yeah, he's so knowledgeable that, you know, just going and listening to him is a treat. Like, you know, it's worth the trip into Toronto to go and meet him, and meeting some wonderful people that go there as well. And let's see. I also joined another Witchy book club. I have so much reading to do, it's not even funny. Which I think is going to be delving into more independent kind of books, which I think will be really interesting. So that's where we'll get into some more like books that maybe that most people haven't read, kind of thing. So my first book I'm supposed to read is due by like March 24th or something like that. So I'm gonna have to get started on that, because in between now and March 24th is a big fashion show that I'm working on. So I have a lot of sewing to do. So I won't have a lot of free time to sit around and read right now. But I'm going to try and make it a priority to, you know, not only work on the show, but to do some of my own personal work as well, so that I don't feel like I'm focused on one thing only. You know, I don't want to over-focus on study, and I don't want to over-focus on work. I want to have a balance and not get too entrenched in one or the other, right? It's healthy to be balanced. So there's that. I'd like to get out more this year to some of the local events. Like last year I did a Culticon and that, and this year I'd really like to get out and do more of that kind of thing. I know that there's a Wiccan Fest here. There's also Pagan Fest, I think it's called, that I need to get out to. Yeah, meet more people, get out in the community. I enjoy that. I don't like to sit at home and not get out and do things, so that kind of feeds my soul too. I used to take a lot of classes to do that sort of thing, get to know people in classes, whereas now I'm thinking I think I should just get out and go to more festivals and that sort of thing, and meet people that way. So I'll be working on that. Sewing, I'm in the middle of making a full-length black wool cape or cloak with purple lining. Oh, it's going to be gorgeous. And it totally reminds me of Lori Cabot, which I love Lori Cabot. So yeah, that's like my thing. So I'll feel like Lori Cabot in this cape. And I'm sure I'll get lots of wear out of it. It's a beautiful material, like a fine, nice quality black wool. So I like that. I've been doing a daily banishing and staying on top of that, and I'm hoping to continue that into the new year. And doing a regular ritual is a good thing. For me, anyways. I don't know. For others, you can decide what you want to do, but for me, I like to have something that I do daily. So I do a banishing, and if I can daily, I'll do a meditation, but that's, you know, that real life, you don't always have time to do that sort of thing. But I try and do a regular meditation as often as I can. I haven't been getting out to the group meditations like I used to. I've been doing it more at home by myself. Part of my Hermetic Arts group, we do group meditation, but other than that, I haven't really been going to a lot of local places to do it. So I don't know if I will have the time to go and do that again really soon, just because I have too much going on now with the fashion show. So probably not until early spring, like April sometime, I'll be able to go and join in other things. I think I have enough on my plate right now with the Hermetic group and the Wicca group that's enough in the books. That's enough. I can't go and do everything, even though I'd want to. I love to go to groups and meet people, but you know, I just can't do it all. So recently I've been to Toronto and did some fun things. The Art Gallery of Ontario had an exhibit of Guillermo del Toro and his personal collection. I think there's a speech going around about Del Toro and his monsters that he must have won an award for Shape of Water, and his exhibit was something else. Like, it was just amazing. I wish I could have seen it again. Like, it was the kind of exhibit you'd want to go see again. But I only got to it the one time, and so it had all his monsters from his movies. But he's also a big collector, so he had all these artifacts from different movies that he didn't do, like Bram Stoker. He had a couple of the props from that. He had a lot of Gothic artwork. A lot of books, a lot of occult books. Yeah, I didn't know he was so into the occult. Like, I kind of guessed it with the movies. You can definitely see it in his movies, but I didn't know he was that into it. So he has a huge library of occult books, and part of the display was that. He had an original set of Aleister Crowley's books there. And let's see, what else? I went to the Royal Ontario Museum, and they had an exhibit on Christian Dior, which was amazing to see those dresses in person. Oh my goodness. So much work that goes into those dresses, and they're completely handmade. If it's anything by Christian Dior, you know, high fashion like that, it's all hand sewn and hand done, and just the incredible work that goes into them. Like, there's very simple designs, really. That's what kind of struck me looking at these dresses, was how simple the outside of the dress looks, but on the inside you've got several layers. So let's say a strapless gown, you'd have the outside layer of maybe a chiffon or something like that. Then you would have a layer of silk underneath that. Then you would have the structure in the bodice underneath that. So maybe like a linen or a crinoline kind of material that is done with like boning and to hold up the dress. And then you'd have, like, I think in the one video I watched, they had 3 petticoats under this A-line 50s style dress. They had 3 petticoats or crinolines plus a lining. So that's actually 6 layers, because you've got the chiffon, the liner, then the 3 petticoats, and then the lining that goes next to your skin. So that's 6 layers underneath this dress. So even though it looks very simple and elegant, there's actually a lot going on underneath those dresses, which I found really interesting to, as a seamstress, to figure out, you know, how they kind of made that. But I've made a few 50s dresses that I have put that much work into. And I didn't hand sew them, obviously. They were all on machine. But to put the structure into them, I did, you know, put several layers into them and that sort of thing. So I know what kind of work is involved in doing that sort of stuff, even by machine. It's, you know, it takes me, an experienced seamstress, at least a week to make one of those dresses. and then make it by hand. I don't know how fast those artists are, but yeah, I can't imagine. It must, take weeks to make one of those haute couture dresses. So it was really interesting to see. And all the embroidery and beading is done by hand as well. So that was really neat to go into Toronto and see both of those exhibits. That was kind of like a big thing over the holidays. And I was very busy right before the holidays doing lots of shows. Like I tried to do a bunch of like artisan and craft shows leading up to Christmas, Yule, because I want to get my name out locally as far as, getting known more within my local community. I seem to do well on Etsy and that, but I'd like to get my name out a little more in Guelph. So was doing a lot of shows. Some were really good and some were really eh. So it was really hit or miss with the shows this year. Like what I've learned is that my stuff is not for everyone. I do not do well in, like, say, the mall crowd. Some of the shows I noticed that the people that were shopping, were more like, what do you call it? Just regular fashion, like stuff you'd go buy at the mall, fast fashion, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. And those shows I did not do well at all. And mainly because I just don't think people appreciate what goes into a handmade item, which is sad. Like most craft shows, people know exactly that you've made it by hand and they appreciate it, and it's worth, the time that you put into it. At most shows, I get that, they understand what it is. But then at some of these other shows, I got the feeling that they don't understand it. Like they're too used to shopping, like shopping malls or Walmart, something like that they don't understand the quality that goes into it or the time that goes into it, and they think that the price should be the same as a mall price. I don't know. So yeah, I've learned which shows to do and which shows not to do, I think, this year, which was a good lesson. So I think that's it. And moving forward with this sewing, I'm going to... The other thing I kind of realized doing the shows was that I was spending too much time making accessories. And I did really well at the shows. Like I'm almost sold out of everything I had. But I spent so much time making just scarves and shawls and that sort of thing, because they're great sellers at shows, that I didn't have dresses. My staple, my usual. I didn't have the dresses. I didn't have the gothic tops with me. I didn't have the capes. I did have fairy sweaters at most of the shows. But yeah, I wasn't making what I normally make for myself or what sells on Etsy to take to these shows. And I think that kind of hurt me a little bit. I need to realize as an artist that you can't cater to what you think is going to sell. It's better to just make what you love and what feels right, and then somebody will appreciate that and buy that rather than what you think they might like. So I kind of ended up straying into other color schemes, whereas I usually stick to like blacks, grays, reds, purples. Those are kind of my normal colors, and I started doing what I thought other people would like the beiges and greens and golds and whites. And I found in the long run, those didn't sell. So there you go. Like, stick to what you like, what you personally like. Just some advice for other people that are making things and going to shows and selling on Etsy. Make what you personally like, and that's what sells. Like, it's not, yeah, if you start trying to guess what the market is going to be, that's when you get into trouble. At least that's what I've learned. So, going forward, I'm going to start making more of my capes and my velvet dresses and my tops and all of that kind of stuff. I have a few custom orders that I need to finish, and then I need to do the fashion show stuff, and then I can move into doing more for Etsy again. So yeah, I've got my plate full as far as that kind of thing. Lots to do, but you know, fun things to do. Like, it's not like I've got to go sit at a desk and be bored. Like, I'm doing what I love to do, so it's awesome. I'm so lucky to be able to, you know, go up to my sewing room and sit there and sew and not have to go to a desk every day or corporate or a store anymore. I used to work in retail a lot, and that's a really thankless job, let me tell you. So I'm really lucky to be able to do what I love and what I'm passionate about and stick to that. So I think that's it for the update. Yeah, I have a lot to do, but good stuff to do. Well, thank you for listening to me ramble about my update and my plans for the next little while. And you can follow me on the Witchy book review channel, the collab channel. And you can find me on Instagram under Merry Morning, and Etsy is Autumn Moon Enchantment. And there's also a Facebook page, Autumn Moon Enchantment. Thanks for listening. Bye now.